If we woke up tomorrow morning and there was no nature, what would that actually mean? There'd be no water. There would be disasters everywhere. There'd be disruption. Well, there would be no supply chain. And actually, if you take it to the nth degree, there would be no customers.
We are in a time of great instability. Climate change and ecological breakdown are already upon us.
We've seen as a business the devastating consequences of climate change and weather-related loss on our customers. At a certain point, there'll be too much risk in the system.
But while we are starting to address the climate emergency, a twin crisis, just as urgent, has unfolded alongside it.
The loss of biodiversity has reached an unprecedented rate in the history of humankind. What is needed is you to take action now.
In the UK, we have some of the most varied landscapes in the world. But while the headlines focus on the destruction of faraway tropical rainforests, nature in our own backyard is just as threatened. Over the last century, we've destroyed vast swathes of our most valuable habitats. Wetlands, 90% gone. Seagrass, 92% gone. Ancient woodland, 70% gone. Wildflower meadows, 97% gone.
As a leader of a British business, knowing that the UK is in the bottom 10% of the most nature-depleted countries in the world makes me feel quite sick.
If we collectively extract resources at too great a rate, then that will in turn come back to harm the businesses that we own, and pretty much all of them. Understood properly, when you really read the science, where we're heading to by the end of the century is potentially as extreme as civilizational collapse.
That future is still avoidable. Global leaders have now agreed to the Kunming-Montreal Biodiversity Framework to halt the loss of nature and put it on a path to recovery by 2030.
The business community is in a unique position, actually the best position to help us turn all of this around.
They have the funds, they have the technology, they have the people, and actually the know-how to do something about it. And for businesses to get started, it's a very simple process. But it takes courage.
There are already many tools and frameworks available for business to get started in managing their impacts and dependencies on nature and the risks and opportunities that result from that. The first phase is to locate your interface with nature. So where are your business assets? Where along your supply chain are things located? You move to evaluating your impacts and dependencies on nature. How are you affecting it in both positive and negative ways, and how are you depending on it? Moving on to assessing the risks and opportunities that emerge from that, and then preparing to respond.
Once you've started this journey, the next step is to give your team something big to aim for.
To drive action, you need to set yourself some big, hairy, audacious goals that make you a little bit nervous.
If these targets don't make you feel uncomfortable, or if you already have all the answers on how to achieve them, then they're not big enough.
A business that knows its target can swiftly move to taking action. We cannot afford to lose any more nature, so first we must stop destroying it by taking action to reduce the impact of our production and consumption.
There has been, for a long period, an assumption that the destruction of nature is a regrettable but inevitable prerequisite for economic growth and development.
We need to change that way of thinking and, just as critically, take action to restore what we have lost.
There are many different ways a business can invest in restoring nature, whether it is peatlands, wetlands, or seagrasses. All of these things have a positive benefit for the businesses, but also for the communities that they are serving.
Once a business is acting for nature, it's important to make sure everyone knows about it.
The most important thing is that businesses speak up. Too often businesses say, I don't want to speak up because undoubtedly it's going to be controversial and some people will attack me. But anytime you're in a position to do something about it, to speak up about things that you know are right, make you actually part of the solution.
We need hands on deck. And this is the world where we are. Cooperation among businesses, cooperation among governments, cooperation between governments and businesses. All of us hands-on together.
This is not like normal business. Normal business, people can be a bit secretive and they want to ensure that they've got a competitive advantage. This is not what this is about. This is about everyone helping to move forward.
Working together, alongside government and with the communities they serve, businesses in the UK can unlock a whole new future.
This is incredibly exciting, but it demands action and it demands urgency.
I'm sold, I'm convinced that the time for action is now.
It's now time for a crash programme to reduce our pressures on nature, to restore climatic balance, and to put the natural world at the centre of our economy. We've left it till the last possible moment. Now is the moment when we have to act with vigour and act at scale.